Welcome back, Nittany Nation. We are back for another episode. We're not the nightcap tonight. We're coming at you a little early.
Just slightly early, but hopefully not early enough that you're like, what's going on?
Right. Like a little more East Coast time this time around.
Sometimes we do have to, tip of the hat to the East Coast, seeing that, Pennsylvania is on closer to the East Coast.
So, not a whole lot still going on, but it's weightlifting season, basically. The guys are behind the scenes, getting bigger, faster, stronger.
Just putting on gains, as they say. Getting gains.
One of those guys is QB1, Drew Allar. One of the things Audrey Snyder asked OC Andy Koltanicki about how Drew's different physically than he was in January. And he said, ask him to flex next time you see him.
The man's putting in work. I actually read this article as well, as a matter of fact. And it seems as though, from what I've seen in social media and what I've been reading, there's a different type of vibe in the locker room this year. Like, everybody it's not what we did, it's what we're gonna do. I mean, everyone's in there. I mean, I think everybody, from what I've read and heard, and this is just all hearsay, but boys are getting gains this year. Boys are getting big.
And they're coming in big. LeVar Jr., the second junior, that's not right for a freshman to be that big.
These boys are all in, and that's what I want to see for this season. I want all in. You know what? Sometimes we walk the line, we go, what about this? No, there's no what abouts this year. This is the boys are all in, the coaches are all in, and as fans, we need to be all in.
Yeah. I mean, as much as people hate the natty or bust line, it's natty or bust. And we need to embrace that as well.
Mark it here today, be it our Lord, on the 15th of July, the year 2025. This is it. Natty or bust. That's all we got.
Yeah, so last time Penn State won was 1987. I was born in 1988.
Hey, high five.
Like, I'm sure there was like a natty or bust year in there, but I don't remember one.
There had to be a Joe Pa year that maybe it was, but here's the fun thing about that, and this is where I'm going to make a slight pivot, and so we can talk a little football. BCS football was amazing. Don't get me wrong, but playoff football is so much better.
Yeah, because you had Ohio State as the 7th seed was the national championship. That doesn't happen in any season prior to this last one.
Doesn't happen in really any other. When was the last time a 7 seed won in any sport?
Right. And the
minus hockey. Hockey doesn't count.
Right. Hockey does not count.
Chat's going to blow up and go, oh, comments. Oh, this one. No, hockey doesn't count. I know it's happened in basketball a few times. It's happened in baseball a couple of times, but I think the Giants did it once when they beat the Patriots.
Yeah, like it just doesn't happen. The crazy part is there's no argument that Ohio State wasn't the best team at the end of last year.
But it's the hiccups, though. You go back to, you have one hiccup in the regular season. You have one, and it's so funny, this sounds so cliche, but you can literally every now and then boil it down to one play. There was one play in each game that you can just dissect and go, that's the play that ruined not only that game, but you could say, for a lot of people in certain situations this season.
Yeah, and usually
obviously not Ohio State.
Right. For us Penn Staters, that plays usually against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Happier news. So, one of the reporters caught up with Drew and asked him about it. He basically said he's the lightest he's been at Penn State. He's sitting at 233 pounds, and he's the most lean he's been. Does that mean we're getting more mobile, Drew? Is that the plan?
Leaning out normally means that you're going to want to be more mobile. But I mean, at the end of the day, so I think this is more of like he's banking on something that he has never banked on before, and meaning that he's a pocket quarterback. He is a pocket. He's a traditional pocket quarterback. I mean, when he rolls out, it's I mean, we're not looking to gain yards. We're looking to get the ball out of our hand.
Yeah.
So him leaning down to me maybe thinks that maybe he's just trying to. This will hopefully extend the play more at the end of the day. Just being able to be a little lighter, but at the same time, being lighter means you might become more susceptible to injury.
Yeah, that's true. If you're not built for the Big Ten football by leaning down, I think one of the underrated, not hugely, but a little bit underrated, is how much he runs, because he did get us a couple big first downs, but they're not highlight plays.
Broken plays every time.
Yeah. And I mean, we don't need him to be a highlight play on the ground either. I'd rather him be able to get outside the pocket, extend the play, and find somebody deep.
See, and I mean, yeah, I that sounds great, but I would, at the end of the day, he is this. I mean, when Drew's in his prime, he's a step into the pocket type quarterback. He doesn't need to. He's not a Lamar Jackson. He's not a rollout quarterback. He's comfortable when the tackles set the edge, and he can just stand there and look, and just have to just and just you see it. You saw it in games like. Even like against Michigan, I think it was, where they had the tackles just had dominant outside protection. He could just step in, be comfortable, and throw. And that just goes back to the offensive tackles too, though. But it's good to see that he's aware that it seems like he's going lighter means that you're making the adjustments that you've recognized on your offense. Heavier means, I'm just going to sit in here and take the blows.
Yeah, and I think, this is it for Drew. I mean, this is the last run here. So, I mean, whatever he thinks he needs to do to get Penn State and himself to that next level, I'm here for.
But you know what I'm saying, though? I think losing the weight, means more confidence in the offensive line. You don't have to stay as big if you have confidence in your offensive line as well. You're going to be able to slim down a little bit, become a little more mobile, become a little more agile. Just because you're lighter doesn't mean you can't throw the ball farther. There's no correlation to that. I think this is just a way of being able to go, hey, I trust what you guys are going to do, and I'm going to just be and maybe you. And you know what? The freshman 15 is a real thing. I know he's a junior now. He's senior. But I mean, still. Dorm room food, hanging out, having a good time, with your boys, having a few beers, here and there. You're going to put on some LBs. Now, senior year, and this goes back to what we were talking about, strength and conditioning. I think everybody's locked in. I think everyone's in the weight room putting in work, which is, and it's so funny because we're just trying to find things to talk about. But at the end of the day, no news is good news coming out of the Penn State camp right now. We don't need to hear anything about an offensive lineman going down or a safety going down, things like that. We could be talking about people doing commitments to schools, but at the end of the day, if they're not running with us, and I've seen that, I've seen other channels doing things like that, which is awesome, other content. But at the end of the day, if you're not riding with us, you're not riding with us, and that's it.
Yeah, you're either in or you're out. And I think that's one of the things that, James Franklin preaches too. It's like, you're either in or you're out. You can't make somebody get in. You can't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
LTFI.
Yeah, exactly.
LTFI.
Exactly. We also did get a update on one of our more important defensive players from strength and conditioning coach Chuck Losey. Tony Rojas, probably our most athletic, best linebacker.
Dog.
Says Rojas been fantastic. He's ready to go. I'm excited about the season, is what strength coach said. Which great news. We need Mr. Rojas for this season to be successful.
I think we touched on this last episode where it was funny and we said this almost in jest, but it's kind of like becoming a thing. Is normally every season the only position at Penn State that you don't have to worry about is linebacker, and it feels almost as though this is the 1 year where everything else, whether it was the transfers, whether it's boys coming back, everybody's ready. Except it seems like it's this melting pot of linebackers.
Yeah, it's definitely not the strongest position on the defense like it has been years past. And I don't think it's nobody's fault, it's just
No.
It's a lot of unknown. Can Rojas stay healthy? Can Dom DeLuca be as good as he was last year in his 10th year here at Penn State? Wearing that number 0, flying around.
Directly into a coaching role. Into a coaching role when he graduates.
Directly. Like, he might as well be on the coaching staff at this point. Take a scholarship away, pay him as a coach.
Player coach.
And then we have transfer Campbell coming in. Transfers are so hit and miss. They could be great here, transfer here, and it just not click. And then behind that, you just have a ton of youth. So a ton of questions. Just
you touch on a very good word there. Unknown. We don't know if it's good or bad because obviously the season doesn't happen. At the end of the day, the linebacker core could be the best part of the team, but it's everybody else in the front and in the secondary have proved themselves. Now it's very interesting, especially in a Franklin defense, and obviously Knowles probably has something to do with this as well, that they see something in these boys. So I mean, I'm not worried, but you say it very well. And we're unknown. We're journeying into the unknown. And that's always a scary thing, no matter how you look at it.
I think that's a Frozen song. Into the unknown.
All right, Olaf. I don't need your Frozen reference. Actually, I have a daughter, but I don't need your Frozen references.
We don't need that here in Penn State Live.
Well, hopefully we're going to white out some people and we'll keep them frozen, if you know what I mean. Oh, that's how you bring it back, baby.
All right. I did see one more quote that I was interested in.
Okay.
Just being slow time, we're latching on to anything we can find, basically.
We're leeching.
This one comes from our man on the defensive line, DDS, denied Dennis Sutton. Goals on the season. This is his goals on the season. My ultimate goal in college is to be the best defensive player in the country and really the best player, period. I want to make it undeniable that I'm the best defensive end and best defensive player. You know who that reminds me of?
I mean, are we going to go with Abdul?
Yeah. That is like verbatim what Abdul was saying last year.
I'm just going to sidestep. I'm curious how much DDS and Abdul spent time together last season, or how much time they spent together at Penn State playing together and stuff. Mm-hmm. Because this is one of those situations where, I mean, we can see greatness follow greatness. We've seen it before in college football. I'm trying to remember. What was it?
You just look at Penn State since we went Micah Parsons, Chop Robinson, Abdul Carter. DDS is next in line.
That is very true that when you bring that up. And once again, going all the way back to our first topic with, Mr. Chuck Losey, these boys are all in. They're all in. Everything I've heard, everything I've searched, everything I've looked at, it's almost like the LeVar Arrington years. Just I almost want them all to roll up in crop tops and neck rolls and just be like, hey, this is how we're gonna play football.
Right. This is how we're rolling this year.
How cool would that be if you just everyone's just rolling up, just belly buttons out, just good old cowboy collar on the back, like it's like you're watching the program. Oh my god, dude.
Their 6 and 8 packs are out.
Yeah, well,
because everybody's ripped.
Let the O linemen have just the bellies, just, and then they get the shorter crop tops. They're almost up at the nips. You know what I mean? We're seeing part of their shoulder pads. They're just like, yep, it'll work. Until the winter comes, then we got to keep these boys warm.
Right. We don't want to look like Tennessee last year when they went to play Ohio State.
That was just. I didn't even know. I didn't know the world got this cold.
Coming out with your shirts off and then laying an absolute egg.
It's just, oh man. Yeah, we're hard. We're hard. Yeah, we're hard first, and we can't move our feet anymore.
But yeah.
But no,
no, go ahead.
No, I was just saying at the end of the day, it's going to be one of those things where I feel as though the team is definitely in the right mindset, just to kind of, even with what DDS said and everything. But we've brought this up, I think, almost every episode. I'm going to bring up again. As Penn State fans, until you do something, we're going to sit here and just be suspect, and that's all we can say. Right.
The impending doom.
Yes.
Will always be there.
The not if, but when.
Right. Another cool thing, SEC Media Days are going on, and 2 coaches have, not that James Franklin's like the creator of these sayings and these, just aboutisms, but LSU coach Brian Kelly.
Oh, God.
He jumped in on the 1-0 train. That's a James Franklin staple right there. You think about James Franklin, 1-0. That's one of the first things that come to mind. And he was asked about, they have a big game against Clemson the first week. How you approaching it and all that. He's like, 1-0 mindset. I'm like, man, I've heard that before. I've heard that for about 12 years now.
Well, just and I don't want to give this man much time, but because I am not a fan of Brian Kelly at all. Never have been, all the way going back to Notre Dame. I think he actually ruined the Notre Dame program for 5 years. And I think he ruins any program that he goes to.
Look at what Notre Dame.
I don't even, like I said, I'm pretty sure he ruined the Notre Dame program. But, you look at what Les Miles did, and then I think there were a couple coaches before Les Miles, but, to go from what Les Miles was doing from LSU to the Brian Kelly, yeah, of course, he steals everything. And if it doesn't work, then he just ships it off and goes another way. And once again, this is just me being a media pundit. I don't like this guy. I think he is not a good coach, and I think he ruins programs.
He is a program ruiner. He's not a great guy, but I don't want to go there.
Don't get me started on how he talks to his players. Oh, don't even, because being a former, I was a former professional lacrosse player and international player and lacrosse coach. The way he talks to his players disgusts me.
Yeah.
It makes me sick to my stomach. I would never send any of my children to a school 3 schools away from Brian Kelly.
Don't even get in the same atmosphere.
Not even the same conference. Oh, he's in the SEC? Oh, nah, you're going to the ACC. Sorry about it, honey. You're going there. Oh, you play girls basketball. Yeah, I don't care. He's not going anywhere near that toxic person.
And then the other one came from Georgia's own Kirby Smart.
Probably. No, I like Kirby. I Kirby. So
I do.
Okay. What Kirby got to say?
He went the same kind of like strategy of how James Franklin's been talking about building the program, how it's transformational, not transactional since NIL started. Almost verbatim. I think he said we're building on relationships, not transactions. So I mean, pretty much the same.
Now, okay, I think that might be then. So here. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I think that's more him walking in lockstep with Coach Franklin. There, more. He's saying that verbatim is more of him going, "Hey, somebody from the Big Ten feels this way. Somebody from the SEC feels this." Like, I think that's more of a walk in lockstep than he's just trying to sound as cool as him. I think that's more that. I think you could take that one as like a pat on the back.
Yeah. I think it speaks volumes to what James Franklin's all about. You know, he wants to win more than anything else. He wants to win a national title, but at the same time, he knows he's still keeping it about the kids and making them men, basically. You know, making sure he's giving them every opportunity after football.
Correct. And I feel as though he has to be one of the most tenured coaches now after Saban and a lot of these. He has to be one of the most tenured coaches in college football. So
yeah,
I think because
Saban's gone. You got Ferentz at Iowa.
Yeah, that's I was trying.
He'll never leave. Dabo's probably been there. Dabo's probably been at Clemson longer.
I don't think
it's got to be close.
It's close. And the other one is the one at BYU. The one at BYU's been there for a while.
Yeah.
But I mean, if
top 5 for sure.
But being one of the most tenured coaches in college football, you know, with being a prestigious, being a program like Penn State, you have a little more carry to your voice when you say things. And if another coach feels the same way, I'm not against them, you know, taking what another coach has said. But if somebody calls them out and says, "Hey, did you get this because Coach Franklin said this?" Then they better nut up or shut up.
Right. Like, was it just something that clicked like, "Hey, that's kind of how we want to be too," or "That's how we are," and that's a good way of saying it is, you know, transformational instead of transactional. But here's the kicker. You could also just say, your school doesn't have the NIL anymore.
Or you could say, "Oh, you know, like Coach Franklin said," and then just say whatever you wanted to say.
Because if you're the other, you know, if you're Ohio State, Texas, you hear that, you know, if I was one of those fans and I hear that, I'm like, oh, they don't have the NIL money to compete with us.
Which is crazy. Which is crazy to think about. Like, you don't, like, you sure about that? But no, the problem with NIL now is because the NCAA set up that thing where they have to allocate a certain percentage to each sport. And I think, what is the cap now for college football? I think it's $2 million.
It's 20 million overall is the rev share.
I was thinking like they can give a single player 2 million, right?
I think so. I think as a whole, like you get the like $20 million piece. I think like 16 or 17 is the most you can put into the football program as a whole.
Yeah, that part, yeah. And it's so funny though. Had Title IX never been abolished, this would have never happened, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then, but you know, most teams are gonna put the max on football.
We're gonna see every single team's gonna be SMU from the 80s going forward.
Yeah. Oh no! Did you hear Big 12 Media Days? Deion Sanders. Did you hear what he said?
I did not. Okay, here we go. All right, boys. Wrap up time. All right. Thank you, Penn State. We love you, but here we go. We're wrapping it up.
Deion wants a salary cap. Of all people, Deion Sanders wants a salary cap in college football.
Did he put a cap on it? Did he like say a number?
He did not say a number, but he wanted a cap on it so everybody's even.
I think that's a very good idea, to be completely honest. To the point where, and I think it should be low. I think like the first number that came into my head just now was $375,000. Just that was just the that was just like that's how much
at a player.
That's how much you could make a season.
Yeah,
is you come to our school, and I think what would be a good thing is it should be something like how much it should be like a dividend of how much the most expensive professor makes to like the highest selling merchandise player, and and then they find like a median.
Just some crazy equation
because it still makes them student athletes. Then
yeah.
Then
you're getting into back when there was not NIL, players are still getting paid.
But at the same time, you could be suspended for a year if somebody bought you a Big Mac. So like
right.
Like the fact that was the thing on the other end is insane.
Yeah. Like just the NCAA oversight.
No, you need to eat whatever the college makes you, and if you eat anything else, we're gonna kill you. We're gonna kill your life. You're gonna be done forever.
If your coach buys you a hamburger, you're done.
Which I think that happened to an actual player. I think that's why it gets brought up, right?
Michigan it was Michigan.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, that's okay. But
it went. Yeah, the player didn't get in trouble, but the coaches did
for a hamburger.
But Michigan's got bigger problems now.
Geez, I didn't even think. Okay,
That's what started all this was a burger.
Back in my day, I could buy anyone a burger.
They went from you bought a recruiter burger to hey, you guys are full on stealing signs and compromising the integrity of the game. What happened?
Who is this man, and what is he doing on our sidelines?
Why is he on Central Michigan sidelines?
Can you put the camera down, please? Like you're not even using your phone. You're like using like an old like 80s camcorder. You're like over here trying to be like there's nothing going on there.
He got weeded out on Twitter too and baited into saying a lot of stuff, Connor Stallions.
Pat McAfee put him through the absolute grinder.
Yeah. Like on Twitter, he was saying how they knew all of TCU signs, and then TCU heard about it, changed all their signs, but Michigan had all the new signs too. Like, well, how'd you give up 51 then? If you knew all the signs?
Well, that seems like it could
like
be
something doesn't make sense.
Listen, I feel like at the end of the day, if you're gonna steal signs, you should probably shut your mouth on the internet.
Yeah, like he's only making it worse for whatever's if anything's coming to Michigan.
Half the stuff I read about people, players, coaches, affiliates of teams doing on the internet, I'm like, just don't do that. Like, just don't. Like, here's this cool thing. There's a thing where you can post or you can cancel. Cancel every single time.
Like they all need to hire somebody that just like, I'm gonna hit cancel on that one for you. You gotta run every social media.
Yeah, they need somebody who's just sitting here just going like this, and all of a sudden the hand's just like,
no, we're gonna put this away.
And to turn your phone. Now you have 30 minutes without your phone.
You are in timeout.
You know what? No, I think athletes with their phones need to be treated like toddlers. They have screen time, and then they have to have their screen time. No. I'm sorry to break a shaw. Your hour is up. Did you see what you posted on the internet just now? You said that you were going to FBs in the A. Okay? No, that is not okay. Okay? Now give it to me. No. Okay, what do we learn?
You just lost tomorrow's privileges.
You know what? Good luck. Now you can only play Xbox. No, I'm sorry. You know what? No. Your friends will have to wait. Your friends will have to wait. I'm sorry. What do we learn? Yeah, that's right. We're not going to say those kind of things on the internet, are we? Okay. Well, you can have your phone tomorrow.
And this is what happens during summer of college football. We get completely off the rails.
My God, that literally ended the show. You're so great. We hit the thing.
Just completely off the rails.
No, DeBrickashaw. No.
All right. We will call it a show after that. I mean, we're off the rails, so we might as well call it a show.
I mean, yeah. What is it? Like, this is we've got only 46.
I don't know.
We're in the 40s now. Okay, the number's going down.
So yeah, we will be back on Friday, normal time, 9:30. The nightcap on the voice of college football, and we'll see you guys on Friday.
Thank you, everybody.